How's everyone doing? It's finally Friday, and I'm going to carve out some time to look at what's in the game. Monument of Tenants. Let's see what Xur has. Yeah, I'm trying to set up my other camera, my DSLR, which is the cable finally came in for yesterday, but it's still hard to see me because my pillows are black, my shirt is black. So I might need an extra light or something if I keep wearing this. All right, so this is Xur's first time being back since the June 9th update.
These are from the Nine.
Okay, so we have the ranking systems back. Um, I'm not sure why the ranking system got taken out, but with all the vendors, in terms of them giving out rewards and stuff like that. So, okay, the thing that I noticed that's jumping out at me right now is there's no featured tags or featured icons on the thumbnails for the exotic gear. So everything is just in the game. The other thing I noticed is the total points, the stat points are at 75. And before, this time last week, you can probably get 62 to 65 points at most with the stat total. But this week, everything is up at 75. So essentially, these are tier 5 pieces of gear for a change. And if you look at the gear that you already have, it has also increased to 75. And then you can put um, other stat points on it. So once you masterwork the piece of exotic gear, you get a plus 15. And then you add that on to the plus 10. I got a plus 10 grenade stat on here. So that's where the other 25 points comes from to get you to 100. But the base stat total is 75 on these, and so that's really good because this time last week your exotic armor piece was the weakest of everything, all the pieces that you have on, which was always weird. So I'm not sure why this wasn't in the game this way last year, I would say, or whenever Edge of Fate came out after the final shape, and we switched over to the tier system. So yeah, the armor is just armor, you know. So now like this is a really old piece of gear, the Wildwood cover, but they brought it into the tier system and this dropped as a tier 5. You know, it is 10 points less, but that's not really a big deal. So I already picked up a lustrous cover, which I got from I think the Tenet of Bravery. So oh my gosh, we'll be able to get so much gear. I don't know where we're gonna put it all, especially if you're running um, more than one character. And then I ran out earlier today and did some distortions on the EDZ, and the weapons are dropping as tier 4s, tier 5s for me because I'm already at 550 power level. So, wow. I don't know where we're gonna put all this stuff because we had 1,000. Uh, we can hold 1,000 in the vault, and then on Tuesday they increased it to 1,300, which isn't bad, but you know. Anyway, so all of these are essentially tier 5s, even though you don't see any tiers over here up in the corner to let you know what tier it is. They're just automatically 5s. And then the type of mod you're gonna get is random. It's because see all these, so it's just random. You don't know what it's gonna drop as, but your your stats are gonna be where they are. Six Coyote gain a second dodge charge. So I would say you would want a lot of class stat on this one. Speed loader slacks, dodging grants, reload and handling for you, and nearby allies. Dodge to increase gains, damage to get dodges. So again, you're gonna want a bunch of your class stat with this, because class is tied to your dodge, and it's 0 class on both of these, so that's not good. You would have to change them. Um, I'll go into that later, how you can change these if you guys don't know already. The armamentarium for Titans, gain additional grenade charge. So this is a really good one for Titan. Um, because you're gonna want your grenade stat maxed out, and so it's already maxed out at 30. So that's good. So if you don't have this already, then that would be a good one to get. Let's see, Ambient Leap, improve Dringer's Lash, gain woven mail when suspending targets. I'm thinking that's melee. Um, you could get this one because if you want to also lean into grenade, but really you're going to need a plus 30 base with the melee. Um, so you can either go base plus 30 with the melee, or you can keep the plus 30 grenade and just add on a plus 10 mod to your melee stat to get it up to 30. But if your melee is already a 30, you add on the plus 10 mod, that'll be 40 points in your melee stat. Um, so you can really lean into that quite a bit. But yeah, I think Lash is a melee attack. Let's see. Finally, to my character, Warlock, gain super energy for kills and assist while inside Will of Radiance. So you're gonna want the plus 30 in super, and right now his super is the second highest trait at 25 instead of 30. So I'll leave it up with you to you guys. I mean, for me, I would probably want the plus 30 in super, and then that plus 20, instead of it being in class, I would probably put it in weapons, you know. But yeah, this is not too bad. It's a little bit off, but not too bad. And then we got Fallen Sunstar, improved ionic traces. Um, I'm thinking if you get a lot of art kills with this particular build, then you get a bunch of ionic traces, and ionic traces are gonna boost your grenade and your powered melee for arc. Oh gosh, I'm thinking grenade and melee would be good for this. If you had a really good grenade in melee stat, but you don't have either with this one, so yeah, I don't know about that one. I would probably prefer that for this one. I'm gonna look at my, hold on. Let me look at Destiny Item Manager and see what I've got with this. I'll grab my tablet. Okay, what do we got here? All right, so let me pull up my item manager, and I'm looking for Fallen Sunstar. You know what? I can pull it up on my laptop too, right? So you guys can see what I'm doing. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Where did I put it? All right. So I'm on the right screen. Okay. Fallen. I've got one, and it's got weapons. Plus 30 weapons, plus 25 grenade, 5 points melee. Oh, that's okay, but not exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, and I've only got one. Darn. Okay. What about Phoenix Protocol? What do we got here? Let's see, we got a lot of grenades, super melee, a lot of health. Oh my goodness. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I don't have anything that's super. No. This one's okay. Grenade, super, and melee. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. This one is weapons. Grenade and health. I might have to keep this one as well. So I'm going to take the junk icon off of this. I'm going to say keep it. But I do want something that's plus 30 with super. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. All right. So if you want to change, and I know you guys have probably seen this before, but if you want to change the type of gear piece this is, like this is a grenadier, 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 and powerhouse. Oh my gosh. So if you want to change the type, right? Because since these are grenadiers, they're all going to have a plus 30 in grenade. This is a powerhouse, so it's going to have a plus 30 in weapons, right? So if you don't see the one that you want, you would basically change it um, by changing the mod on your ghost. And I saw this trick done by Rick Kakis, so I can't take credit for it. But here's my Grenadier Armorer, and you basically wear this if you want your whatever gear drops, you have a better chance of it dropping as a Grenadier if you equip this. Now you have this is for your health. This is for melee. Um, they changed the name. Hmm. What's going on with this? There's two of them. But anyway, so you would just switch this off. So now you have Colossus, right? So you just select that instead, and then you go back to that menu and see if that changed anything. See, so now there's Brawler, Powerhouse, Siegebreaker, Reaver, Reaver again, and Colossus. So just by changing that mod on your Ghost, it changes the type of gear piece this is, right? So now your plus 30 ends up moving to something else. Sometimes it works and then sometimes it doesn't, but it worked pretty well on all these. Um, so again, with this one, if you want a plus 30, like if this is the only piece that you want the plus 30 on the class stat. Right now it got changed. This time it got changed to plus 20. So you have to keep changing the mod on your ghost until you get the plus 30 in the stat that you want it in, right? Um, let's see. So for me, I'm thinking Phoenix Protocol. I'm gonna go plus 30 in super. And then for Fallen Sunstar, I want plus 30 probably in grenade. Yeah, probably in grenade. Excuse me. So that's how you do that. What else is there? And then of course you still have the bond, depending on what character you're on. But this is the class item, I think they call it, right? And then we do have these type harmonizers, but just keep in mind it is 41 strange coins per harmonizer. So don't chew up your strange coins too fast if you don't have a lot of them. Yeah, Yeah, 71 for two Ascendant shards. That's high. Anyway, all right, so we got Fourth Horseman. I do have these Tech Callus already. Fighting Lion. I have it already. Ward Cliff Coil used to be really good back in the day. Now the intrinsic is unstoppable. So if you want to stun unstoppable champions, this weapon would definitely help out. We've got Hard Light. Um, I do like Hard Light. I don't know what they did with the Catalyst. Let me see here. Catalyst. I'm just wondering, do I have it? I mean, I know I have Hard Light, but I don't know. Let's see, here we go. As far as I can tell, all the Catalyst does is give you plus 20 stability, which is a lot, but it doesn't do anything else. Because basically your stability is going to jump up to 100 on this weapon. So once you complete the Catalyst objectives, your stability is going to jump up from 80 to 100. It's going to max out, which is crazy. So this thing fires like a laser with your stability up that high. But downside, your impact is all the way down to 21, which isn't very, you know, it's nothing to, shout about or go crazy over. So it is a 600 RPM. Um, you can switch the element from void to arc to solar and back to void. So that's something if you're trying to match the element with the enemy shields. But I used to use hard light all the time, but the primaries haven't felt really good. They just don't do enough damage on the yellow bar enemies. We got the Huckleberry. Its intrinsic is it stuns anti-barrier champions now. Okay. And then we got Hawk Moon with moving target. It's got the anti-barrier on here. As hand cannons go, it's very good, but it just depends on what you actually want on the hand cannon. Nice cosmetics there. Okay. But yeah, moving target, increased movement speed, and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. It's not exciting. um, the rest of these are not. Unfortunately, they're not tiered. Um, yeah, they're not tiered. These are just normal weapons. So for me, I wouldn't even bother getting any of them. You got a distant pull sniper, showrunner, submachine gun, adamantite. This is, I think you will be able to craft this. Intrinsic is overload champion. So I don't know how many you need to pick up. Maybe four of these. You might need to get four of these in order to craft it or unlock the craft feature on it. And then Iota Draconis. This thing hits like a hammer, but you look at the charge time, it's 967. That is ridiculously slow. But that's to balance it out because your impact is almost maxed out at 95 out of 100. So it hits like a hammer, but it just takes a while to charge and fire. So you just have to get the timing down, you know, and but it hits like a hammer for sure. High impact reserve under pressure improves stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower. So yeah, this is your typical crucible weapon because in the crucible they only give you what 2 shots out of 7 in the mag whenever you pick up ammo. So your under pressure is already going to be triggered because the magazine is low, and your reserves, the rounds at the end of the magazine deal more damage. You're already going to be at the end of the magazine. So this is definitely for PvP for sure. So don't be surprised if you go into Crucible and players are running around with this. As far as PvE goes, this is an unstoppable champion, um, or it stuns the unstoppable champions. So there's that. Tarnished metal is also craftable, so I don't know if you guys want to craft this, but there's that. Persuader, I do not think this is craftable, and it's not a tiered weapon, so I don't think that there's any way to improve it. Opening shot, rapid hit. Owner's Edge has tireless blade on guard. Okay. Threaded needle, field prep, and dragonfly. Bittersweet, unrelenting, and frenzy. But like I said before, like none of these are tiered. So you probably a distant pull I think is craftable. So you might want to pick up that if you haven't unlocked the craftable version yet. Um, Adamantite is craftable, and I think tarnished metal is also craftable. So at that point, you can still improve it beyond this is just the base model of it. Okay, and then for legendary armor, we got the Sword Masters gear set. This was only available through the Pinnacle Ops playlist. Um, so I'm surprised to see them here because these are the more difficult uh, pieces of gear to get. So if you're gonna spend some strange coins, for sure this will be what you want to spend them on. Let's see the armor set bonus. If you wear 2 pieces at the same time, you got damaging a target with a sword, glaive, or any melee attack. Exhaust them. Exhausted targets deal reduced outgoing damage, which that's nothing to sneeze at. And then you got your 4 piece. If you wear 4 pieces of this gear together, you get another added perk on it. Blocking attacks with your sword or your glaive grants a short period of damage resistance against targets when you next drop your guard. So yeah, you block, 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 block. And then after you stop blocking and start attacking, you're gonna have it says a short period of damage resistance. Bungie still doesn't tell us how long that short period is. I just wish that they would put the number in there. Is it 7 seconds? Is it 10 seconds? Is it 5 seconds? Like, how long do we have this damage resistance for? It doesn't say. But anyway, so that's the set. If you're using Praxic Blade a lot, this looks to be really just perfect for that using with that weapon. So you don't necessarily have to use a a sword in the power slot, in the power weapon slot. You can use your plastic blade in the kinetic slot. It's still a sword, so um, you can take advantage of this. As far as where your stats go, like all of these are 75, which is great. So these are tier fives for me. Um, if if your power level is a lot lower than mine, then these will not be a tier five. So you definitely have to do some grinding to get your power level up. Other than that, it just depends on where do you want your plus 30. Because you're going to have a plus 30, a plus 25, and then a plus 20 for your main three stats. So it just depends on where do you want that main stat at 30, the secondary stat at 25, and then the third stat at plus 20. Um, yeah, it just depends on what build you're using. On my build right now, I'm maxed out on grenade. So I've got the base plus 30 on grenade on all five of my pieces, I believe. Um, so that's what I'm leaning into. Because when you go, like, yeah, I'm at 200 on my grenade. Because all of my pieces are, the base of it is plus 30. And then I added plus 10 on all of them. So I've got 40 grenade, 40, 40, 40, and 40 grenade again. So, yeah. And I don't need this one. Okay. And as you can see, like this is not even a tier one piece of gear, you know. So that's an old legendary piece that it doesn't do me any good. This is an old piece of gear, but it's tiered. So I don't know. Some of the old stuff, like they brought them into the tier system, and then some of the old stuff they left it out. So I don't know. I don't know um, how they decided what was coming into the tier system and what was being left out. I don't know why they didn't just bring everything over into the tier system, but they didn't. And also with running around, I'm getting quite a few tier fours. Yes, it aggravates me, but what can you do? I would prefer getting everything tier five, but that's not what we're doing right now. The game still, even when you get to 540, 550 power level, you max out your power level, you're still gonna get, sometimes you'll get tier threes, you'll have a tier two show up every now and again as you're running around open world. It's just inconsistent in that way, I guess. But that is what Xur has, and then also you have your exotic ciphers that you can get if you're running low on those. Now, the other thing I did want to show you guys before I go, let's see where we're at. If you are looking for your crafted weapons, where are they anyway? Yes, this is them. So you look under patterns and catalyst, and this is your primary weapon patterns. So it'll tell you how many weapons, how many copies of that weapon you need. Um, and then you use your deep sight harmonizer to, I don't know, just use it or turn it into a pattern. You have to get the weapon, turn it into a pattern using a deep sight harmonizer, and then that goes towards your progress here. So this one I need 5 of, what's this, Rufus's Fury? That's a weird name. Anyway, Age Old Bond, I need 5 weapons. I only got 1 so far. No hesitation. I have 2 out of 5, um, and so on. So you can look through here and figure out what you actually want to create a crafted weapon with. So once you find all the patterns, or you create all the patterns, you can go to the enclave and basically make your own weapon, you know. So like if I found 2 more tripwire canary bows, I can go to the enclave and create my own tripwire. You can, the bowstrings, you can pick out your bowstrings and all that type stuff. You have to level it, I think, to unlock all the perks and whatnot. You have to level it up to like between level 15 to 17 for the most part. So you can either burn Glimmer to level up the weapon to 17, or you can just run around and get a lot of enemy kills to level up the weapon. But just spinning the Glimmer and the enhancement cores is faster. So sometimes I'll go through here and just make a note of, okay, this is something that I want to turn into a crafted weapon. Um, and there's quite a few. There's quite a few. BXR 55. This is a really good weapon, but I think the only place I can get it from is that Eternity activity, which I haven't run that in I don't know how long. But these are all the primary weapons. Oh, I do got to go back to the Pale Heart and get this one. The Call. There's quite a few, and then you got your fusions. There's a bunch. So instead of depending on the RNG, just the random drops to get the roll that you want, you can actually go to the enclave once you get all the patterns and build the one that you want. So it's not all the weapons in the game, but there's quite a few weapons that you can craft yourself. Some of these weapons, like Commemoration, that's a raid weapon. You have to go in the raid and get 5, at least 5 of these. Um, Turn them into a pattern, and then you'll be able to go to the enclave and craft your own um, machine gun, which is great. Oh, and I was working on this one too. So point being, if you go to Xur and you see that he has a weapon that you still need patterns for, you can grab those, buy those weapons from him, use the deep sight harmonizer, turn it into a pattern, and that'll go towards your progress here. Yeah, so he had an auto rifle, I think. It's got to be in here somewhere. No, it's not in here. Let's see. I thought it was craftable. Maybe it's not. This one, yeah, this is the one that I don't see. I thought this was craftable. And this one, tarnished metal. I know I've seen that one before. So patterns, catalyst. This one is a scout. There it is. Tarnished metal. You need 5 of those. Um, and then you'll be able to go to the enclave and create your own. I just thought that other one was craftable, but I don't see it. Huh, okay. Yeah, it's my fault. Okay, and so what's the other one? I thought there was one more. Threaded needle. I can't remember what that one. Oh, here we go. A distant pull sniper. And I skipped that season too, so I really didn't try out those weapons. So let's see. Sniper rifles. We're looking for a distant pull. There it is. So I would need 5 of those. Um, Use a deep sight harmonizers, turn them into patterns, and then once you get 5, you'll be able to unlock this. Now, going to the enclave, you go to the menu, destinations, and where did they put it? Oh, Savathun's Throne World. Savathun's Throne World used to be over here, but the new director, it's on this side now. And then the enclave is over here. So you would go to the enclave, and there's a, I guess it looks like a temple, and you go downstairs, and there's a, you know what? Let me just go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. And you can also, if you've already crafted a weapon, you can edit the weapon itself. So you can go back to the enclave, make adjustments, switch out perks and all that type stuff, and then like it's like recrafting it. It's gonna cost you uh ascended alloy, a lot of glimmer, enhancement cores, but you know. So this is the enclave. Your ship is usually up there where you see, yeah, there it is. So your ship shows up and it just sits there waiting for you. And then you got, is your vault still here? Yeah, there's the vault. There's the post box if you need to go there. Um, but yeah, you just head downstairs and there it is. And this is where you craft your, and I know this kind of looks weird, but anyway. So this is reshape and this is shape. So you can reshape an existing weapon, like modify existing weapon. And this one is just creating the weapon from scratch. So you've got a bunch of weapons in here. And it'll tell you if, it'll let you know if the pattern has not been unlocked yet. Um, Weapon inventory full. Oh, let me move some of the stuff. I'll throw this one in there. Yeah, it'll definitely let you know. So if you see something in here that you want, um, just make a note of it. Sightline. I don't know if I crafted this one yet. But yeah, you get to come over here and see, you have to be at level 7. This is a handling masterwork, range masterwork, reload speed, stability. But you have to get the weapon to, or upgrade the weapon to level 7. So base frame is 10,000 glimmer, and then these are all your perks. So your barrels, and then they add. You can look at your stats over there and see how they're moving. Like this has a lot of handling, and then now they have enhanced um, traits, which I don't think we had before, or did we have? Oh yes, we did. Yes, we did. We had enhanced before. But yeah, these all change your stats. So whatever you want to lean into is up to you. But again, to unlock the enhanced version, you have to get the weapon to level 25. So like I said, you're probably going to be spending a lot of glimmer, enhancement cores, probably enhancement prisms at some point if you just want to buy your way or spend currency to get the weapon to level 25. So I like polygonal rifling because of the amount of stability. Um, Arrowhead break is pretty good too, especially for recoil direction. But it's up to you. Steady rounds, and then there's Radio Lara, so it's enhanced origin, and that'll get you'll be able to unlock this at level 30, which is kind of steep, but it's there. And then you've got all of your main perks here. This is level 4 or unlocks at level 4. And then you have the last one. This one unlocks at level 10 before you get into your enhanced traits. So this is the normal strategist, and then this is the enhanced strategist. And so it's all the same thing as up here. It's just the enhanced version. Um, whatever effects it has is just more potent, more powerful. So yeah, you just combine, whatever, whichever perks you want once you unlock everything, really. And then this one, the only two available right now is Eye of the Storm and Desperate Measures. But then down the road, you'll have Encore, Precision Instruments, Opening Shot, Kill Clip, and then Volt Shot. And then these are all the enhanced versions of the same thing. You'll get enhanced version of Volt Shot at level 17. So, and then once that, all this is put together, you'll just say shape the weapon, and as you see, it'll cost 35,000 glimmer and then 6 enhancement cores for this particular um, combination of traits. So, so there's that. Okay, so I don't have any. I've only got one crafted weapon on me. And that's revision 0. It's already at level 27. I have to unlock it. And now I can press X to reshape. And I've already reshaped this one. But again, since it's level 27 already, um, everything is unlocked. The only issue is that I have to, let's see, obtain by completing Operation Seraph Shield in Pinnacle Ops on Master difficulty or higher. Huh. Okay, so these are catalysts. Yeah, but Revision Zero is one of my favorites. One of my favorites, so intrinsic upgrade required. Okay, so I guess they unlock with the catalyst. Unlocks additional stocks for shaping. Interesting. Okay. So there's quite a bit more I can get. Like this doubles my magazine. You see the magazine jumps from 20 to 40 with this? That is crazy. Oh my goodness, I have to look into this later. All right. But yeah, if you want to reshape your weapon, just grab it out of the vault if you don't have it on you, so that when you come to this menu, it'll pop up there. It'll show up. Is my vault working? I don't know if it's working. Oh, there it is. I got 837 out of 1300, which could have been worse, but I have to clean all this stuff out for sure. And then postmaster. Yep, I got a tier 3 in here. Another tier 3. Allen 05. What is this? This is new. I have not seen this before. I really, really have not. I wonder I wonder if this weapon has really, like, what's the handling like with this? Hmm, interesting. And it's a 5. Anti-barrier intrinsic. Reload speed for the masterwork. Recoil direction is not good at 62. Okay. I have to test it out later. These other two, I'm going to use them as infusion because I've got a lot of, well, yeah, I've got a lot of weapons that need to come up to at least 540. So, but that's all I have for for this episode. I went a lot longer than I intended. um, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.